So 7th grade, 7.2, simplifying expressions. We are on page 342 in your book, and we have some vocabulary to go through, so sorry, let me go back. Page 342 in the book. So let's take a look. We have terms. Terms are the parts of an expression, I guess, is the best way. It's what the book I'm kind of struggling. I'm going to write an example and then I'll tell you. 3x plus 7 plus 2y. They are the parts that are between the minuses or the pluses. So this would have 1, 2, this has 3 terms in it. Okay, just the different parts of the expression. Like terms are terms that are alike. For example, x's go with x's, y's go with y's, whole numbers go with whole numbers. So here's an example. 3x plus 2x plus 7. We can only add what are called like terms. 3x and 2x are alike because they both have x's on them. So this would be 5x plus 7. We can't add the 5 and the 7 because they are not what we call in algebra like terms. All right, and we'll do more of those in a second. So equivalent expressions are expressions that have the same value, or in other words, they are equal. Okay, coefficient is the number that is attached, should be an A in there, to the letter. For example, up here on 3x plus 2x plus 7, the coefficient here is 3 and the coefficient here is 7. The constant term is the number without, or numbers without a letter. So in this problem, the constant term would have been 7. All right, so let's go through and let's do some of these. Simplify the expression. Write this expression as a sum. So what I want you to do is go through, and I do it because of the signs, go through and just make it addition. So go through all the minuses and boom, boom it. So you boom, boom, and you make it plus. Okay? Then you go through and you find what are the like terms. Now, even though this one is a -3, and they have a parenthesis around it just to separate the signs, it still has a C on it. So those are like terms, so you can combine those. So 7c plus -3c is 4c plus 9. You just bring that down. Now, you can't add those. You can't go any farther because the 9 does not have a C on it and the 4 does have a C on it. So you can't add those. So then you would be done. And they just move them over to put them next to each other and show you that you can add those, and I just added 7 plus -3 in my head, and then it's finished. Example 2, identify coefficients, constant terms, and like terms in the expression. Okay, so let's first start with, I don't know if they started with a table or what, but let's start with coefficients. The coefficients are the numbers with the letters. So when you have just an x, it's an unwritten 1. So there's a coefficient, and right here would be a coefficient. Actually, it would be, let's just write them, the coefficients would be -1 and, excuse me, not -1, +1, because there's no negative in front of it. And this would be if we boom, boom, let's go ahead and boom, boom everything to simplify it, -1 or +1 and -2. Our constant terms are the terms that do not have letters on them. It would be 4 and -10. Now our like terms, what could we add? We could add the x and the -2x. We could also add the 4 and the -10. So those are like terms, those are like terms. So they boom boomed everything first so you could see what belongs where. They're your like terms. That puts the negatives where they belong. There's our constants. Okay, so example 3, in simplifying this expression, we are simplifying and Remember in the last lesson we learned a thing called the distributive property. So when you see the parentheses right here, that's your first signal that there's the distributive property. So we're going to simplify first by doing the distributive property right here. So we get 5w minus 20 plus w plus 8. So the first thing we did to simplify is multiply out the distributive property to get rid of the parentheses. I'm going to boom boom this right here just so I know that that's a negative 20. So now let's add the terms we can. 5w and w together make 6w because there's an unwritten 1 right there. Negative 20 and 8 make negative 12. So you could put plus a negative, but the simplified version would be just minus 12. Let's see how they do it. Same thing. They go through and boom boom everything. And then they put their terms together, which I just do it in my head. And then without the parentheses, without the plus the negative, you put minus 12. Okay, so the guided practice. Identify the coefficients, the constant terms, the like terms, then simplify. Okay, coefficients. My pen doesn't want to work for some reason. It goes crazy. The coefficients are negative 3 and 4. That's the coefficients right here. Okay, the constant term is 1. The like terms are 3z and 4, actually negative 3z and 4z. So in simplifying, I can add these together. So 4 plus negative 3 is 1z plus 1. I can't do anything with the plus 1 because it does not have a z on it. So I'm going to boom boom everything first before I do anything. My coefficients are negative 9 and 7. My constants are 15 and negative 6. So my like terms are the 15 and the negative 6. So 15 minus 6 is 9. There's where those negatives come in. Negative 9r plus 7r is negative 2r. So 9 minus 2r. Or negative 2r. You could switch them around. So my coefficients are 2 and, let me boom boom, boom boom, 2 and negative 2. Here's my constants. 2y plus negative 2y is 0y, so those disappear. 8 plus negative 4 is 4. So the only thing left when I combine my like terms is 4. So boom boom everything, boom boom. Okay, coefficients are negative 8 and 9. Those are the coefficients. The constant terms are the ones that don't have the letters. Those are those. Like terms, these go together, these go together. So simplify negative 8 plus positive 9 is just 1k. 16 plus negative 8 is 8. So that all goes down to k plus 8, and there it is on the end. So boom boom everything, boom boom, boom boom, boom boom. Coefficient, coefficient. Constant, constant. Like term and like term. 6a minus 6a is 0. Negative 18 plus negative 1 is negative 19. So it simplifies down to negative 19. Coefficient, coefficient. It's with the letter. Constant. Like term, like term. So negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5m plus 5. And I can't add any more because they are not like terms. Okay, example 4. Exercise mat. A rectangular exercise mat is twice as long as it is wide. Write and simplify the expression for the perimeter and the mat in the terms of the width w. Okay, so here's the mat. If the width is w, it's twice as long as it is wide, so it would be 2w for the length. So the perimeter would be, when you add up all the sides, 2w plus 2w plus w plus w. Because if this side is w, this side is w, this would be 2w. These have unwritten ones on them. They are all like terms, so 2, 4, 5, it would be 6W. They're going to make it, there we go, it's going to come up the same. They just made it a little harder than what I did. 6W. So the rectangle is 6 inches longer than it is wide. Write and simplify an expression for the perimeter of the rectangle in terms of W. So W plus 6 on this side also. So let's add the W's. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 W's plus the constants, which are 2 6's, which is 12. That's it. 4W, see right there, 4W plus 12. A rectangle is 3 meters longer than it is wide. So here's the width. It's 3 meters longer than that. So 3 plus W, so 4W plus 6. That's it. So, like terms, just make sure you boom boom to get rid of those minuses and only add like terms to like terms. If you're not sure what they are, ask before you tackle it. And we'll see you next time.